Report and all the latest there. For more on this, let's bring in military expert for defense priorities, Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Davis, and policy strategist and political commentator Erich Reimer. Gentlemen, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, Colonel, I want to start with you because, you know, the biggest issue, the sticking point is denuclearization, right? I mean, the North Koreans, President Trump has said he wants this to happen in his first term. The North Koreans want this to be in stages. This is a long-term process. The issue of trust is coming up again, Colonel.
Right, and it's going to continue to do that because there's one thing I think it's really critical for the Americans to understand as we go into these, however the talks end up going, is the distinction between America's absolute non-negotiable requirement and our preferred outcome. And the distinction is important. The required outcome is the prevention of war and the ability of the United States to continue to prosper as a nation and the president's ability to protect us. But the preferred outcome is to complete denuclearization. But if we don't get that, our overwhelming military power and nuclear and conventional ability will keep the nation safe no matter what. And the reason that's important is because if we set the preferred outcome as the needed outcome and then it doesn't happen for all the reasons that we're already talking about here, then people will want to say, okay, well then the military option is the only outcome. But the military option can't be used because that would be the absolute worst case scenario for the United States.
Absolutely. I think that we agree a lot across the board, I think, on both sides. Hey, I wanted to ask you, though, Eric, you know, the North Koreans say that they're in good faith. They want to, maybe have the summit still happen. Yet they're meeting with the Russians. Sergei Lavrov was just in North Korea meeting with Kim Jong-un. And so now there's potential cooperation between the Russians and the North Koreans. And you've got this new ballistic missile site that's been found in Iran. So it's not like, I mean, again, the issue of trust comes up when they're kind of talking out of both sides of their mouth. And they're talking to people that, frankly, on a military basis seem to be our enemies. And that's Russia and Iran.
Oh, precisely. I think we've seen over the past few decades that whenever North Korea has come to the table, they've always tried to play games, and often it's been in very bad faith. And even though certainly here, I mean, there's a lot of hope for an eventual solution to the problem. I mean, I think here, North Korea's real goal is to try to get more normalization, and where that is with the wider world or with just Russia and China, I mean, it remains to be seen. But I think they in the past have been very and done a lot of things in bad faith, and so there's still a lot of tension there, I think.
Yeah, there certainly is, Colonel. Let's talk about this letter delivery today. I mean, we don't know what's in that letter, but Mike Pompeo did say that he felt like good progress was made with that North Korean leader when they were here in New York having these discussions. Whatever's in this letter, do you think is something that can convince the president to actually go forward with this summit?
Well, I think that what the president's going to need is to see that there's at least a basis of having a conversation so that we have a shot at actually coming up with some kind of mutually agreeable outcome. We've seen, the United States is, of course, the CVID, the complete irreversible denuclearization, whereas apparently the thing that came out of the Lavrov meeting with Kim Jong-un is that they want a CVIG, which is that they're asking for security guarantees. And so they have a different definition of it, and the real negotiation is going to be the difference between what we want and what they want. And that's what Kim and President Trump are going to have to see if they can come up with.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there, guys. Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Davis, Erich Reimer, thanks to both of you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
And some breaking news right now. Spain's socialist